Hello, Sariah, Bastian here, owner and creator of Beyond Breath. And I have with me today one of my very favorite people. Her name is Jessica Henshaw, and she is a coach inside of Beyond Breath, one of my expert coaches that helps me. And also, she is where she is today because of Beyond Breath. So, welcome, Jessica. I'm so glad that we can make this work and that you can give your testimonial today.
Thank you, Sariah.
Yeah, I love the idea of being able to apply a healing method and tool to your life and turning around and being able to help other people. So this is awesome. So let's jump into the basic questions so that people can get an idea and background of where you come from and see where you are now. So when you did originally take Beyond Breath, what was it, 3, 4, 5 years ago? 5 years ago?
4 years ago.
Okay, so 4 years ago, what was the main problem that you were experiencing?
So, my situation is a little different than I think most that come into Beyond Breath. I had been single for about 6 years at this point and had just remarried. And during that time that I was single, I just saw that I had done counseling and EMDR, read all the self-help books. I had really tried to heal and to be in a healthier place. But I found as I was dating and, even in my brand new relationship at the time, that there were some patterns that were still surfacing for me. And I didn't want to have the same outcome that I had had in my previous marriages, and wanted to really have a healthy, deep, connected relationship. And so, I took the yoga teacher training from you, and all the ladies kept talking about this course and how it had changed their life and changed their marriage. And I was like, okay, I need to find out what this is. And so, that's kind of how I found the Beyond Breath course. And when I took it, I just took it online. There wasn't the coaching involved, and so I just devoured it. Like I just, it was kind of everything that I was eating, sleeping, breathing for a while. And my husband, even now, I asked him this morning, I said, is there anything that you would say that you've seen from my journey? And he just said, I saw that you received tools that really helped you to stay grounded and to stay present and to deal with some of the really difficult things that we've had to deal with in our marriage, and blending families and just all the things that come with life. and
Yeah.
and so it's just been a beautiful journey for me.
Yeah, cool. So 6 years single, you get into a relationship, old patterns surface to where, like, even though lots of therapy and healing had done, like, just that day to day, how to monitor and make it through another day without falling back into unhealthy, toxic patterns. Um, so since joining Beyond Breath and after accomplishing Beyond Breath, like you just said, like some of the things, maybe like, were you experiencing panic or rumination or anxiety? Were you um nervous about him being unfaithful and bringing that up in conversation? Like, what were some of the things that you were, I guess, like, physically or aware of that was bringing you angst and unsettledness?
Yeah, I would say I definitely felt a lot of just stress and anxiety in my body, and actually had some physical symptoms and some health conditions because of that. And even though, like I said, I had done a lot of counseling, a lot of EMDR, I hadn't learned to really listen to my body, and my body was just screaming at me. And there were things that were just triggers that just would remind me of things that I had gone through in the past. And my body just was holding on to so much tightness and tension. And yeah, I would definitely say the rumination, like the thoughts, just different thoughts, wouldn't shift for me.
Mhm.
And so those were, I would say, probably some of the biggest things. And then also just not feeling like I could really connect. Like
Mm.
there was just a little bit of a disconnect, even though we had, a great relationship starting out, and there were just some disconnect in a lot of my relationships. And I thought, okay, it obviously is me, because I'm the common denominator in all these relationships, and so I want to improve that.
I love that. So, so then you take Beyond Breath online, right? Like I've been researching Beyond Breath and doing it many ways for 8+ years now. You did it all on your own without any coaching, and now you don't experience the rumination. Now you know how to handle things. I like talk to some of that, like how is your body when the physical elements were showing up because of the stress level. Yeah, talk to like where you are now on that after Beyond Breath.
Now I just feel so, I would say, at home in my body.
Mm.
And one of the things, like I said, I talked to my husband this morning about this and just kind of asked his insight. One of the things that both of us have noticed is there's a softness.
Mm.
I was very tight and rigid in my body, in my thoughts, and I noticed a softness and an ability to kind of step back and see things from different perspective, where before things were very black and white for me. And so I would say those are two really big things. Just feeling that connection, like I said, just feeling much more connected to myself, to others, and it's just, I don't know how to describe it. It really has changed everything for me. My life is very different than 5 years ago when
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
started this.
I love it. And so, I mean, there's nowhere to know that, right? But I do have clients who come in to Beyond Breath who are single and trying to re-enter into new relationships, right? Who have done healing, but still find themselves in that place of distrust and uncertainty and fear of repeating patterns, and that kind of does keep you away from the other person. Like, yes, I love you, and also I'm just going to keep caution and wary because I don't trust that this is going to work through. But because of this, do you feel like because of Beyond Breath, you feel like you have been able to step into this fully, and that this is a totally different relationship that you ever experienced in your life?
Oh, absolutely. And, my husband and I talk about that all the time, because it is for him too. And
Mm.
I've taught him a lot of the tools, secondhand, and he'll even, use some of the words, some of the lingo,
Uh,
and it really has changed our dynamic, and the way that our relationship could have gone very easily. We both have a lot of, past trauma and triggers and things, but it's given us a way to communicate in a really healthy way, and to know that we want that connection, we want that beauty and depth in our relationship. And so
I love that. I love that so much. And I love that because I experienced that in my own marriage. Like I bring these tools into my marriage, and when I stick to them and I honor them, my husband follows, and it is secondhand, but he wants it too. And it just offers so much beauty and connection. So would you say that the investment that you initially made into Beyond Breath was worth it for you?
absolutely, like 10 times over. Like
Mhm.
I just, yeah, I can't imagine my life without it, honestly. And I think back, my first um, like experience, I guess, with betrayal trauma started like 16 years ago.
Mhm.
And I think back to that time, and if I would have had these tools and had that support, like how much pain and suffering for both
Mm.
me and my children and other people in my life would have been diminished, because I just didn't have the tools, I didn't have the resources, and so there was a lot of additional pain and heartache in those years of
Mm.
figuring things out.
Yeah, and we can hold so much compassion and grace for that because you did the best you could with what you had. And also, what would you say to somebody on the fence about joining us?
Just dive in. Like there is no better investment that you could make into yourself, into your relationship. Like it will definitely change your life, and change your relationships. There's just such a beautiful, and I think the thing, it's so simple. Like it really is so simple. And I practice the tools every day still.
Mhm.
And it's not, in the beginning it was something I had to really think about and really um step into, but now it's just natural. It's just a part of what I do. And
Mhm.
as you do that, it does just change your life. There's no way that it can't, I guess.
Yeah,
So
I love it. And amen, because I do it too. Yeah, every single day I live this, I embody it. Yeah. I love it. Thank you, Jess, so much for sharing this. And for those of you listening today, again, Jess is one of our expert coaches, and it's been so cool to watch her journey. She found me on Instagram, originally reached out, took the course on her own, and we just kept in touch. And it's just been so cool to be the witness to the transformation that's taken place. So I honor you and thank you so much for your time. And again, for those of you listening, if this calls to you or speaks to you today, book a call with me. Let's hop on and see if this is going to be something that is going to work for you. It may just be the missing piece, like it was for Jess and so many of my clients, and also that slingshot that's going to propel you into the life that you've been yearning for and seeking for, that just, it's out there. And this might be it. So I love you and thank you for joining us today. And thank you again, Jess. And we'll talk to you soon.